Hello, I'm Shonen McMurray, and welcome back to my channels at Lunar Ladies. Today, we're going to go through a new series called What's in a Name? And I'm going to start with someone who's very much in the public eye, especially in the things that I'm interested in, and that's all things royal. I have to give a shout out to many of the Royal Tarot readers that I follow who I've learned so much about, and I'm kind of incorporating their beautiful wisdom along with culturally with the people of the UK and the Commonwealth, and just that understanding of a person who's a member of the royal family that, you know, has brought some energy into the family that may not be so wonderful. Yes, I am talking about Meghan Markle herself. Now, I'm just giving a little backstory on what I'm going to do, but as far as being an American citizen and what did I know of this person, this American citizen, before entering into the royal family, and kind of what energy that this person has brought into that landscape of a long-standing history and a very powerful country in a nation of people, wonderful people in our world. So I'm going to be doing a Tibetan numerological profile of Meghan Markle as what we see in the public, the way her name is spelled, how she uses it, and the birth date that she's issued out into the public domain. So before I get there, I just want to give some shout outs to some royal readers who I've been following ever since the Oprah interview, because that's when things really changed for me. I knew of Meghan Markle just a little bit because I happened to have watched the show she was on called Suits. So to me, she was a side character. Oh yeah, I remember her, Rachel from the show, right? And I talked to my mom, my elderly mom, and I'd say, remember her, remember her. So when the news first broke that she was dating Prince Harry, it was like, wow, that's really cool. How interesting. And I happen to know who this person is, you know, vicariously through watching that television show. And then after they, you know, got married, you know, I kind of fell off the radar with their news because I didn't live in the UK and I wasn't privy to some of the shenanigans that were going on. But when I saw the Oprah interview after the Megxit experience, and I got a sense of her character, her energy, and how she was presenting herself and what was going on, I was really flabbergasted. I'm like, who the hell is this person? This person's not right. Allegedly, my opinion, for entertainment purposes only, right? So I just want to do this for fun, so that to show you the power of Tibetan numerology, and to also give you, you know, a baseline where I'm coming from. I try to stay neutral with her as a person. Of course, I don't know her from a bale of hay, right? But I do read what other people share as content creators on YouTube and Twitter. You know, you look at the news and the articles and things like that, and you assess the behaviors from what, you know, you see personally of what this person is generating out as an energy field. And so, you know, it's a little hard to maintain a neutral standpoint when you really see some things and you're like, that is not okay. That is not right. So I want to give a couple of shout outs to some really amazing royal tarot readers. I've been learning tarot through because I'm fascinated with this person and this storyline and what's happening. And I watch the royal tarot readers to, you know, they're reading the energy, and I think, wow, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, you guys are really lucky. You're getting a free tarot reading every day. I hope you're watching, because the wisdom available at a healing level of awareness is astronomical. So quick shout out to Lily at the Tarot Knows, Skye at Raw Real Tarot, Griff through the Griffinscope, and of course Andie from Tarot with Andie and Tarot Time with Andie. I really love Famous Fortunes. Lord Famous Fortune is great. I love his voice, Australia. And I'll list more in the comments below. And of course, as I go through what's in the name, and anytime I make a video about Meghan Markle, I will definitely give shout outs to those amazing content creators, wise healers that are available to us for free. Definitely go to their channels, like and subscribe to me, to them, and, you know, just to help them continue on their journey of creating more content, because it's amazing. Okay, so I really got, after the Oprah interview, I was really like, something's not quite right here. Like, I need to find out why I feel this way about this person that I have no real connection to, because it was really getting under my skin. I'm like, something's not right. I don't like when, liars or people that are, trying to present themselves in a certain way, but the mask is there. Oh yeah, speaking of that, check out the body language guy, Jesus Enrique Rosas. Also amazing. So I'll list his channel as well. He'll make you laugh and you will learn about body language at the same time. Okay, so I first started to get into this by watching the Royal Tarot readers, and they're amazing. Those that I watch them religiously. Oh, Paula at Mad World Tarot is also another amazing channel. So I learned a lot, and they really helped validate what I was feeling inside that I couldn't really get answers to. Because when I decided as an astrologer to look at her astrology chart, and I looked at the birth date and the time, what's in the public domain, I was like, this don't feel right. I'm highly intuitive, and that energy, energetically, allegedly, to me, my opinion, just for entertainment purposes only, something's not right in Denmark. You know what I'm saying? So I have been excavating that territory. I am not ready to present my findings yet, but just let me tell you this, that I have to contact Arachne and get that ball of string to go into that labyrinth, which is her birth information, because it is a quagmire. What we see is not the full picture. And so I have my ball of string so I don't get lost in that labyrinth and eaten by the Minotaur, you know what I'm saying, and find my way out of there. So I do have that coming soon as well. But if you follow me on Twitter, I recently posted a few months ago about after the cut interview was issued, I think it was in August 2022, and her face was on the back cover. And, I'm scrolling through Twitter, just taking a look, right? And I saw that face, and it was like almost like a splash of cold water or even a smack in the face. It was like there was a really weird energy in that photo. So what caught my eye first was the difference between the right and the left. And I posted, go to my Twitter at Lunar Ladies, and you'll see it's a pin post about when we take the face and we do analysis of the right side and the left side. And it's another aspect of my sound healing traditional Chinese medicine background, is looking at the wisdom of the face, what we can learn from the face and the structures, the type of face, the lines, as well as the ears. Ears are about childhood, 0 to 14 years. So I'm also in the process of looking at her ears, because as a lot of amazing Twitter content creators there as well had mentioned, like, well, she's had so much done to her face, like plastic surgery and changing her face. How can you read her face with any truth, because it's been altered? And I loved that, because it made me really see that someone who does alter their appearance, that speaks volumes. As well as you apply that knowledge when reading a face, you can tell a lot about the psyche of that individual. So lots of fun ways to take a look at this particular individual. But I'm going to take a look at her Tibetan numerology profile. So I want to, offer this to you for just a bit of fun, just to give maybe some deeper insights and wisdom. And if Meghan Markle herself sees this video, may it bring you wisdom and help you with awareness. And it's done it in the name of love. So from a neutral soul love to another neutral soul, this is in as a gift of awareness. Take it or leave it. Okay, I'm going to share my screen, and we're just going to jump in. Now, if you are finding me for the first time, and this is your first video, I do have an introductory Tibetan numerology, what the heck is it video. It's like 6 minutes long. I'll tag it in the notes here for this video. So definitely check that out so you can get some background of what I'm talking about. So here's my graphics. I'm going to break them down. I'm going to explain them. So thanks again for joining me and watching this. So Tibetan numerology profile. And we're looking at the energetic signature of this name that she goes by publicly. Meghan, spelled Meghan, last name Markle. And I'm looking at this as the public domain birth date of August 4th, 1981. Some of us are questioning whether the date is correct, the year, and possibly even the date. I'm playing even with the month and day as well. Definitely the year as well. Okay, so first of all, so this would be kind of an overall profile, and I'm going to break down the positive karma and the negative karma and kind of show you why I have lines here and what these 4 elements that I can just see as a basic look at this person's energy. So when we break down the name Meghan Markle, now it's divided in your personal power or positive karma comes from your first name. So we're looking at Meghan, and in 3 levels of existence: her spiritual power, her mental power, and her physical earth, physical material world power, mental body, mental world power, and spiritual body, spiritual world power. And then on the other side is the name of Markle, the family name, and its negative karma, also looking at its frequency breakdown. Now, when we look at positive when combined with negative, we don't want to see double numbers. Meghan Markle has 2 levels of existence completely blocked. And I was like, oh dear, I'm sorry for you. That's not good. That doesn't help you at all. Oops. Oh no, we got to fix that, right? If she was my client and was open to hearing this information, I'd be like, girl, let's sit down. We are going to clear these blocks for you and help you out. The timing cycle based on this birth date of August 4th, 1981, generates the number 5. Okay, number 5. So pretty much even as far as it's a fast number. It likes to change. It's fueled by Mars. And so it works through life lessons every 5 years. So even as an astrologer, I would take her birth information and start looking at 5-year marks for her. Like, what happens every 5 years in her life? Does she change identities, change affinities, or things that she's, how many times has she updated her Wikipedia page? If it's every 5 years, I'll fall off my my chair. Anyway, also when we see the timing cycle as part of the negative karma, here it's 5 in the mental body, that's also a block. So we have 4 blocks so far just by looking at this public persona name and this public persona birth date. So first we're seeing the timing cycle of 5 from her this day that she's telling us she was born. It's blocking her mental energy power. So her mind is blocked. That's not good. That's not good. So we can even see, or I can see listening to other content creators on YouTube who do amazing, intuitive, and very powerful tarot readings. We can see the blocked mental energy, especially if, allegedly this is a person with some personality disorders in the name of narcissism, histrionic. And I'm not a psychiatrist or a medical doctor or anything like that. So this is just kind of looking at what others have shared and just asking questions, right? So you can look at H.E. Tudor's channel as well, talks about this in more in depth than I'm able to. But the mental body, the mental energy that's part of her personal power is blocked by her timing cycle. So right there, very bad. I'd be like, okay, we got to change this first name, whether it's the spelling of it or a whole new name, or maybe even her original name. All right, next, the mental energy is blocked by the karma. Now we see the 5 here in the mental body. So we have a personal power block and a family karma block, all happening in the mind, in the mental energy. Third, we have a physical energy block, 11 and 11, and 11 represents the collective. So having the collective energy in your personal space is hard. So it makes sense that, I noticed that part of this person's wanting to be in the news or in the social media or trending and all this, whether it's positive or negative, doesn't matter. This is she wants to be in your collective space. She wants you thinking about her, talking about her, whether it's positive or negative. She'll take both. So from a blocked personality, 11 is like, I don't care what it is, as long as you're talking about me. So, and it's very draining. I think that's why at times she kind of disappears, or maybe she's doing other things, we don't know, but she kind of gets out of and has to retreat. It's too much energy in the physical body that has to kind of go through this collective positive, negative, positive, negative. But it's also blocked by the family karma as well, right? So that's the third one. And the fourth one, the magnetic attraction power, is blocked because anytime we see blocks in the positive and negative, when you add them together, the attraction force field is blocked. So, okay, let's break this down. It's not looking too good. Okay, but there's hope if the person is open, of course. All right, so let's go into the personal power. Meghan. Now, Meghan on its own is fine, right? Is fine, because here in the positive karma, spiritual power equals to 6, and a 6 in the spiritual power is all about love. It's 6 in the tarot, 6 major arcana is the Lover's card. So notice that she tries to tap into that the love card. Oh, look at me, I'm so sweet. Yes, there is a possibility, an opportunity for you to embody this energy, as long as you aren't blocked, right? So maybe on an unconscious level, this soul is aware that, yes, you are more matched with a love vibration than not. But her mental won't allow her to get into the spiritual, because we'll see why by the last thing. So the mental power is 5, which is great. That's her timing cycle. In the first name, you want that. That's empowering. So she has this opportunity to be empowered by her and mentally. And it's about changing. And notice, like, when you look at, this person, like, throw spaghetti at the wall, what's going to stick? It's always changing, like changing personas, changing what she's promoting or attracting, or who am I? Like, one minute I'm a supermodel, next minute I'm a humanitarian, 1 minute I'm this, and 1 minute I'm that. So there's a Mars driving force behind that, which you could use that for good. She could be a change maker. If she was connected to the energy spiritually of love, which is divine love, and of the lovers, which is more like an embodied inner masculine, inner feminine in harmony, working together, right, in the name of divine, sacred, unconditional love, service to others vibration. All right, physical power, again, 11 is hard to have in the physical body because you're running collective energy through your body. And you must be in action. So if she comes into a place where she put herself out there, she gets booed, she has to retreat, she can't take action, her mental energy is blocked, she's trying, she's forgetting all about her spirit, no love in this in this energy, then she's exhausted by the end of this week, right? She can't take action. Too much collective energy in her space. But to me, from this block persona, she will try to utilize collective energy to fuel. And I have heard, like, on Tarot by Andie's channel, she talks a lot about the narcissist fuel. And this really spoke to me. I'm like, oh, that makes sense. That if she can't rise into the heavenly love, spirit, energy of her soul, she's going to try to get that fuel somewhere else. And that's going to be from the collective. All right. So timing cycle again, 5, dynamic power, ruled by Mars. That's kind of that tungsten. I'm going to Meghan gets, that's that Mars. Also the fives love to party. Life is a party. Life is dressing up, doing drugs, clubbing all night, and then waking up the next day and doing it again, right? Loves to party. Okay, a positive karmic power for her. Spirituality is ruled by love. This would be, if I was counseling her, I'd be like, okay, stop everything. We got to get you reconnected to your soul at the love vibration. Have a way to access divine love. Mental power is elevated by the timing cycle. Like, that's fabulous. Love that. Physical power is run by collective energy. I'd be like, I would rather have you sitting at an 8 or a 5, which would be more healthy and making and materially successful. Ruled by Mars and the Tower card. And we can see this by by living through her blocks. She is embodying the Tower card in the royal family. My opinion only. You can do your own research, right? Decide for yourself. But to me, if you look at what she's done in just a short amount of time, 4 years, she's a Tower card energy of, like, wanting to destroy. And that Mars energy will stop at nothing until it accomplishes the job, right? But she doesn't have to use her energy that way. This is how we can see that blocked energy starts to turn in on itself and implodes, right? So let's go into the last name, Markle. Now, if your last name is Markle, don't worry. We come in with we all have this. It's just the flip side. And notice that she's the exact same numbers. Meghan is also, and Markle have the same number, 6, 5, and 11 in the spiritual mental. So she's completely blocked if you really think about it. But when we have a spiritual power, spiritual karmic block, if you can tap into spirit, there are no blocks in spirit. This is unconditional, free-flowing, creative, original energy that's powerful. So if you have a block in your spirit energy, that's okay. But when you get into blocks in the mental and the physical, boy, we've got to stop what we're doing and get you some help. That's a 911 situation. So this name and this timing cycle birthday that she's going by in the public domain is actually completely blocked. That's why she's never really going to succeed. She'll succeed at being a tower, right? But that's going to be her own personal tower moment, like, I'm going to fall from grace. And I really saw that in the 1977 version of her astrology chart. It is all about a fall from grace. So I'm like, okay, are you that energy, or that birth date? So that's a whole other series of videos. It is really like a quagmire, that her natal chart, trying to get to the truth of it. Okay, so let's break down the family karma. Now, the spiritual karma will be the antithesis or the negative version of love. And we go into ego or the hatred. To me, she embodies more of that ego, right? And she really thinks she's, number one in the world. About the queen. Well, karma, from a block perspective, yes, I could see that there's not a lot of choices for her to not do that. She's going to do that. It's a very unconscious thing, but also being driven by this energetic signature that she signs her name as. She says that people talk about her and saying her full name, the alliteration, right? And having her, when she wins awards or gives speeches, they announce her as this. So everybody's fueling this blocked energy in the collective. So I'm like, oh my God, how is this person still walking? Like, oh, okay. So we have, so as a soul, this soul says, okay, I'm working on the spiritual karma of when people are in the ego, or when this family has gone into the ego side of things. I want to clear that by spiritually connecting to love as a free individual, free of blocks. So far, she doesn't have enough resources to do that, or enough self-awareness to make that choice. Mental karma, 5. So the antithesis of change and movement and variety is self-indulgence, right? So that, we see that's that partying, over partying energy, never satisfied with what you have. It has to have more and more and more and more. So if she has a beautiful $25,000 evening gown, she wants a $50,000, right? It doesn't matter. There's more and more and more. And she'll just keep going through because her mind will never be satisfied. So it's focused and tuned and connect and merged with the energy of self-indulgence. Now the physical karma is 11. And again, you don't want the collective karma in your space. So physically, it's collective laziness. So where we have action in the personal power, we're going to have the antithesis, which is laziness. And that's what people who aren't her fans will say. Oh my gosh, she wants all the royal titles and all the wonderful indulgence and the fame and the notoriety, but no, she doesn't want to do any of the work because she's running collective laziness through her physical family karma, right? Using this last name. Okay, timing cycle, that 5, that dynamic power is blocked by the mental energy of this family tree. So family mental karma is what she's working against constantly. And it's interesting that she got rid of her whole birth family, just besides her mom, as far as being, part of each other's lives in current time, because there's that mental block there. So I find that very, very interesting. And if you look at the tarot, it's definitely like a 3 of Swords energy between her father, her sister, and her brother, right? There's 3 swords there, which swords are mental. The heart is love, and now we're piercing the heart 3 times through, this blocked, self-indulgent personality that has been and is being developed through these intense blocks at all 3 levels of her existence. Okay, so let's look at that negative family karma one more time. Spiritual karma is ruled by the egoic hatred and competition. So again, I think that's another way to look at that mystery of a narcissism. At the mental energy, at the spiritual energy, she's running it. But part of it, I'm like, okay, collectively, she's trying, this soul might be feeling like I got to get, I'm going to deal with this at the global stage level, at the public level. Competition. Really interesting. So anytime she goes into competition mode, and that could be any female or anybody she sees as above her. So we have the Princess of Wales, Catherine. We also have the Queen herself, Queen Elizabeth II. They were spiritual enemies, ego, self-indulgent, competition, fuel. Right? And you got that Mars, wasn't going to quit. All right, mental karma blocking, timing cycle, and mental power for change. So it's, it's a little bit locked in to that, like her mind is so locked in. And we can probably read in these upcoming books of the people that, were her staff, and they're saying, there was just no getting through to this person and this person's personality and this, lack of self-awareness and awareness of others. All right, physical karma, blocking physical power, burdened by collective energy. So she has no choice but to be this kind of more self-indulgent, sorry to say, lazy princess. Henry, right? Like, what is going on? So this also made me feel like, wow, that phenomenon known as to be Markles makes sense now, doesn't it? Here's this public energy person that wields a lot of attention. Anybody that comes into her orbit will get this Markle block experience. Like, I don't know how to get around it. I'd say like red flag, bye, no. Good luck. Okay, so let's just, as the overview of Meghan Markle, born August 4th, 1981. So this name has an energy signature in the universe that is severely blocked on spiritual, mental, and physical levels. And she does not have the ability to truly attract what she wants. She might get it and destroy it because she's got that Tower card, Mars, in her energy signature. If you are thinking about, well, what's my name say? What's going on with me? One wants a name that has an energetic positive power, and you want a strong negative force field, because working with a powerful personal force field, get that strong negative force field, then you'll have a bigger magnetic attraction field. But the trick is it has to be free of blocks. Now for Meghan Markle, she's blocked all the way through. Now spirit can't be blocked because that's just spirit. But because she can't even get into a place of recognizing spirit at all, right? Because the mind is so, locked in like a missile, it's gonna be very difficult for her to get that. And then she'll only experience the negativity part of that negative force field. So Meghan Markle can clear family karma and access her soul's ability to generate positive power by changing her first name. Interesting enough, the name Rachel is free of blocks with this family's karma. Now, I didn't look at Rachel Markle because she's not using it current time. Now, she probably used it as a young person until she decided at some point to change it. I would be very curious to know at what age did she decide to change her name, because that would also be an indicator for me looking at her astrologically to recalculate possibly when this person was truly born, right? Because when you look at astrologically, when the year you're born, right? Let's start with that, because some people are second guessing if 1981 is really the year. Some say 1977. Some say maybe even further than that. But what I know from as an astrologer, the year you're born, you have the outer planets sitting in certain degrees and signs, right? The inner planets will move much faster. So those are more that, kind of surface level of our development of our personality. But the year you're born has a Pluto that only moves 1 or 2 degrees, a Neptune 1 or 2 degrees, Uranus maybe 5 degrees, if that. And then of course Saturn, which takes 2.5 years to go through a sign, and Jupiter, which takes 1 year to go through a sign. So there's a big difference between being born in 1981 with those outer planets that are giving you an energetic imprint that your body is merging through, like your cells are imprinted with those magnetic force field layers of those outer planets. So if you say, oh no, forget that year I was born, I'm born this year, isn't that nice? And it's like, no, your physical body, you can't change that magnetic imprint of when you left the womb and out into the world, that your cells were speaking to the universe. They were, mirroring as above, so below. So that's why I kind of look at those years and go, wow, you could say, or maybe do some spell work around saying, this is me, and I want you to look at me this way. Yes, we'll look at it astrologically and go, huh, but your body's still living the imprint of when you were, the truth of when you were actually born. So that's why the astrology is very deep and shadowy. When I look at her energy, I'm like, where's my ball of string to find my way out of this rabbit hole? But when I get more clear on that, I would be happy to create a series of looking at that particular astrological profile of a public person in the public domain. So thank you so much for watching this video and joining me in looking at this person through the lens of Tibetan numerology. So no matter if she's had facial reconstruction or astrologically it's telling us a different date, and we can look at the name she uses, the birth date she uses, and share with you what energy circuits she's working with or not working with. And so, Megan, if you are watching this video, think about this. Watch this video again. Please work on removing those blocks, and your life will be better, more simplified. Maybe, possibly, you can use the power that you were born with as a soul to come into more of a service to other truth, reality, than a service to self. But the choice is yours. So if you would like to get your Tibetan numerology profile, visit my website, lunarladies.com/offerings. The link is in the description box below. Like and share and subscribe to my channel. Share this video. It helps keep the content coming. Really appreciate your time hanging out with me in this first of many What's in a Name series. Bye for now.